is up, everybody? Good to see everybody in the house today. As always, Andrew Esquire, American attorney, specifically Florida Special District Property Development Attorney, here to talk to you today about all the Disney bullshit, including what's going on with the Lake Nona thing they talked about. We're going to talk about Galactic Starcruiser and all that jazz. We're going to be doing that today on this channel. As always, this is the legal mindset where we teach you to be your own judge, because you know they're out there spitting the BS and we need the facts over the feelings and the pixie dust. So it's good to see everybody here in the chat today. What's going on, brothers? And good to see everybody up in the hizzy. Yeah, I'm from East Florida. I don't know, South Florida. I was born in Miami, Florida, right? So I was born in Miami. So as southern as it gets, pretty much Havana North, you know, or Caracas North, or, you know, Bogota North, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's a little bit of Rio, a little bit of Bogota, a little bit of Havana. I liked it that way. I was a true minority, not a fake minority. And then I also spent time in Orlando. I lived in North Carolina. I've been to Vegas, you know, all over. I've been to LA. So I can, you know, talk about different parts of the United States very, very fluently with a high level of knowledge. But good to see you guys up here in the chat. So let me give a little bit of love to all my members in the chat. Thank you, those that have been signing up for memberships. It really helps my channel. Let me give a special shout out to everybody I see here in the chat. So I see Steve C, Tianini, Scarlet Coat, Smoking Wrath, Cocho Dragon, Danielle, Tianina. Who else we got here? Alien Renders, good to see you. What's up? Oh, what's my boy Deha Ko? Good to see you, brother. And everybody else in the chat. And also shout out to the gangsters over there on Locals. We got, let's see, we got Gerald Ann, we got Danielle, we got Jessica, Sleazy, Legendary Racing, Thing Wolfguard, Three Beers, all of the Degenerate Locals crew. I appreciate y'all hanging out and being here. And listen, we're very close to 100K, and I know some of you guys that are used to me streaming all the time are like, damn, Andrew's not streaming. Well, there's two thoughts to that, and I'm just going to throw this out here. Number one, doing a little bit more of the videos that are kind of shorter in length or pre-recorded has really helped me boost towards 100K. And that's number one. And number two is I've been in Bangkok, and you know, since I've been kind of crazy running around here, it's just worked better with my schedule to have videos that I've recorded that are kind of shorter, that are easy to share, and they're often on concrete topics. That's just worked out better for my schedule. So it's been a schedule plus algorithm thing. So it's kind of worked out. But obviously you guys know I'm always going to do streams. I'm never going to give up on streaming. I'm never going to like stop streaming. You know, just the balance I shift around. Sometimes I may, you know, sometimes it may be 1 or 2 streams a week. Sometimes it may be 3 or 4 or 5. It just depends on what the week is like and, you know, when I can get through to you guys. But I always will be hanging with you guys. 100%. Let's see. Yeah, but good to see everybody here in the chat today. Oh, Matt from Tennessee. What's up, my brother? What's up? So today we're going to get into a bunch of the news. So what I'm going to kind of start with is I'm going to start with talking about Lake Nona, why that's not as big of a deal as people think it is, and then why the big deal is probably the Galactic Starcruiser, which is really the news they're trying to bury. See, this is why I cover things, and I don't just cover it from a pure law standpoint. I cover law plus business, because as an attorney that worked with businesses, whether I was working on the development side or as in-house counsel, I know that they try to bury stories, and Disney is a master at trying to bury bad news, putting out a distraction, which all of their corporate simps and shills are trying to push right now. So first, we're just going to just dismiss the disaster and dismiss all that craziness, and then we're going to get to the meat of the issue. Oh, and what's up, Bella, Stella, and Tesh? Hayayi, good to see you, brothers. Good to see you, brothers and sisters, because Bella is actually a woman. So appreciate my ladies out there. So let's jump into it. So the first thing that the Disney shills are trying to push today is, let's see, the Lake Nona project thing. So let's talk about this, because it's kind of funny. You know, when they fucked with Reedy Creek, they probably thought that, you know, oh, that's all that I'm going to be able to push back on. No, because I actually did a lot of development work and represented a lot of special districts, not just near Disney, but also near Lake Nona. In fact, that's one of the fastest growing areas in Central Florida is the Lake Nona area. And I know more about Lake Nona than these people putting out articles saying, this is going to destroy Florida. Oh, Florida got owned. Florida got this. No. I'm going to explain to you right now exactly what happened, exactly who's going to be the ones who are actually taking the L, which is why they're crying, right? And whatnot and so forth. So we're gonna explain this to you guys because this is a story they're already bending. Right? They are already bending this story in a bad way. By the way, I love that StreamYard now added a auto star super chats function. So I love that. It's so fucking awesome. So now I don't even need to worry about it. They're all starred. So I'll get past this story and then we'll catch all the super chats. Okay. So yeah. Let's see what we have here. It doesn't seem like more than coincidence that Lake Nona's thing is the same day as Galactic Starcruiser hitting the iceberg and Indy 5 getting abysmal reviews. Oh yeah, Indy 5 too. Thank you, Steve C. This is a good point here too about Indy 5. They always try to bury stuff like that. Whenever there's news that's not favorable to them, their stock price is hurting. Remember, they own a lot of these news outlets, so they can just put out their own news. They can create their own fake news. So that's why we're here to put out proper information. So what are they talking about when they said they canceled planned Florida campus in Lake Nona? So when you read this article, it makes you think that all that we got going on in Lake Nona, right? That all that's happening in Lake Nona is the Disney campus. If you were to read this and you're not from Florida, right? You might think, oh, it's this is all Disney. This is all, this and that. No. Not at all. Not at all. There is so much going on in Lake Nona that this is just one small component of what is a much larger development. So Lake Nona is a very bougie area. It's a very nice area of Florida. And the company was supposed to move over and build a campus, kind of like a regional campus in Lake Nona. And I'll put this picture here because I think this kind of helps it the most, right? And I'll zoom in here to this. So this is Lake Nona Boulevard, and you see all these different things here, all these different developments here that are already built. So let me just show you guys. So this children's hospital is already built. This town center, built. Performance Club, built. The medical center is built. The UF Research Center, that's already there. There's a giant gator on the roof, right? That's already built. The elementary school, that's already built. These parks, the VA, these are all already there. They don't need Disney to come in. Disney was just going to come in for this component of it. They were going to build something right there, right? Well, this is prime real estate, and I'm telling you right now, if Disney is going to just either hold the land or sell it or whatever, somebody else will buy that. It's not something that's not desirable. Everything else is already in. Disney's thought to bring stuff in there as an afterthought. And here's another thing too that I want to bring up, which I think is underestimated. The Disney employees that were supposed to come from California did not want to come to Florida. They actually said, we don't want to come to Florida. They protested. They did not want to come because they were scared of Florida. See, a lot of these lefties and these leftist employees, they think Florida is like some crazy place where it's like the Wild West where we have open gun battles, coming out, on 8 a.m., driving down the highway. We're just Mad Maxing it, and just fighting and brawling out everywhere. No, of course, that's not happening. That's not a thing. So that was a huge component, is those employees didn't want to come. They actually refused to come to Florida. And I think that's a good thing, by the way. I think that's a good thing. Importing en masse a bunch of woke Californians to Florida is not something I want. See, California is deep blue and they are pretty entrenched in California. I don't want them bringing those folks to Florida, Texas, and swinging the state. We're already seeing what's happening in Austin with the Californians there. You don't really want more. So I'm okay with that. I don't want those employees in Florida. Look, if an employee from California doesn't want to come to Florida, that's totally cool. That's their choice. Fuck them. Let them live in their woke shithole that Gavin Newsom is running to the ground. Let them pay for the billions of dollars of reparations, right? Patrick says, I would move there for the Mad Max vibe. But it's true. It's true. So Mad Max is closer to Chicago than to Florida. And that's the funny thing. The funny thing is, if you look at the liberal cities in New York, Chicago, LA, they're much closer to Mad Max than anything in the conservative states. So this whole talk about their canceled campus and yada yada, this is all BS, right? And this whole thing is, we have plans to invest $17 billion. I trust this about as much as I trust Amber Heard telling us that she pledged the money, right? Remember that? Remember the pledge from Amber Heard? We have plans to invest. That doesn't mean shit. That does not mean absolutely anything to me. We have plans to invest. That doesn't mean anything. By the way, Disney was given massive subsidies to build out there by the liberals in the government, in the local government, in the county. See, this is the thing. I am all for people paying their fair share. And Disney wasn't even going to be paying their fair share here. So, did we really need 2,000 Southern California employees? No, absolutely not. And by the way, mind you, at the exact same time as they're saying, oh, we're not going to move those employees over, at the exact same time, they're firing employees and letting people off. They were going to let these employees go because they can't even afford to keep them in California. They're too expensive. These employees kind of had a choice. It's like, go to Florida or get fired. And now they're just going to get fired. And I'm shedding zero tears for a bunch of woke Californian employees that didn't want to move to Florida. Zero love lost for that. You don't see any people or any companies moving from Florida to California. Point to any major company that's made that move lately. I'll wait. All right, let's get to these super chats. If the gator sells, who pays the bond? Well, if the rat sells, who pays the bond? Well, this particular development doesn't have any bonds on it. So this particular Lake Nona development, this is actually outside of Disney. Actually, let me show you like Google Maps here. So let me do a Google Maps. I thought I had it pulled. Oh, actually, I do have it pulled up here. I got you guys. Okay, so here you go. So here's Lake Nona. Sorry, my mouse is still fucking up, guys. Sorry about that. So here's Lake Nona. It's by the Orlando airport, okay? Actually, let's go to this layer because this layer is probably going to be easier for you to understand. So Lake Nona's over here by the Orlando airport, right? We got to zoom way the fuck out and go all the way over here to Disney. Here's Disney. See Disney right over here? Here's Disney. Here's Lake Nona. It's not close. Lake Nona is not close to Disney. Now, you can take this highway there. The 417, right? Which was probably what they were intending. But Orlando is very big. This is not part of Reedy Creek. This is not part of the district. This is not property that Disney has control over. They fall under the county's jurisdiction, which, by the way, is probably why they didn't want to move there. Also, construction, somebody pointed out, where is it at? Jameson, this is exactly right. Construction costs are going up. So they might just be saying, hey, look, construction costs are going up. we're losing a bunch of money. We have to buy the shares in Comcast or Hulu, if you guys have heard about that. So they've got to sink a bunch of money in Hulu. They're losing value. They're facing lawsuits, multiple lawsuits, shareholder lawsuits, lawsuits with the state of Florida. Their media is tanking. This might just be a cost-saving measure, like plain and simple. Hulu is also a big yikes. That's going to hurt. Exactly. They're going to have to pay for that. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, this is a good one too. Hold on. Light Rain says, I know a Disney lawyer, just contract law, who just got laid off. They blame Disney problems on COVID. See what I mean? These people are liars. They're chronic liars. They'll say one thing, but you know it's because of another. You know it's because of another. Let's see what we got here. IFID says, I'm an OG. Doesn't matter how big your sub count is. You'll always be Andrew Mindset. Adam Soju to me. You need to get Radix back on the show. Yeah, Radix will come back on for sure. We have something to talk about. But appreciate my OGs in the chat. Love all y'all. And whenever the topic comes up, I'll address it. And Real Hydro saying, why are you guys afraid to touch Ricada Lil suit? They were there when he did the defamation per se. Come on, laugh at him. No, look, I'm just covering Disney right now, dude. And I do whatever the fuck I want to do, and I cover the topics I want to cover. And right now I'm covering Disney, and there's a million things to cover on this. This is my deep dive. I'm not afraid of anything. It's just everybody has their area of expertise, and we do what the fuck we want to do. People want us to cover a lot of things, and I get a lot of topic requests from a lot of people. I can't cover everything, you know? And there's enough lawyers out there in LawTube. Other people can cover other things, and there's plenty of people covering these other topics. So yeah, go out there and find those channels and, encourage the ones that are into the topic you're into. Nikki says, I wish people hated Florida as much as they say they do so they can stay out and stop moving here. We don't want any more of these clowns here. Yeah, no, look, listen, they don't actually hate Florida because the thing is if you look at what they do, like Nancy Pelosi, AOC, I mean, Californians come en masse to Florida because they know it's free. They know it's free. And actually, you know what? Yeah, exactly. Disney issues once in a lifetime for Andrew. Let him cook. This is literally my area of expertise. So I'm sorry that I'm not covering other stuff, but it's going to be very rare. You guys got to understand. I typically comment on general stuff, and I'm making more general comments or knocking on thoughts, or maybe I'm knocking on woke marketing and woke corporate because, between thoughts and woke corporate, that's my personal area of interest and expertise. But special districts, Disney, that is my core knowledge. Like Central Florida real estate, that's me. Nobody else, especially nobody on the internet, knows what the hell they're talking about. In comparison to myself, because they're not Florida attorneys, number one, and number two, they just not in that practice area. It's very specific. So yeah, I'm gonna hammer on this, and I'm not sorry about it. I'm not apologizing about it. Sorry, but appreciate that. What's up, Fat Steven? You know what, bro? Do I have you on Twitter? Because I may send you towards the end here if I want people to pop on real quick. I may send you a invite if you want to pop on for a second, or Valiant. I don't know if you guys, he's up. He's probably, sleeping because he's fucking a million years old. But DM, well, let me see. I can DM you to get you on towards the end. Not now, but towards the end, I can have a couple people on. Since it's been a while, and I always appreciate having folks on the show. All right, so I'll drop you. Fat Steven, I dropped you a link. So if you want to come on, that's good. And then I'll drop Valiant the link too, if he wants to come on now. Let's see. So y'all can pop on. I always love having other people on the stream, especially people that are incredibly based. All right, so we got, look at Texas versus Hyatt applies to Disney timeshare. Yes, so I covered timeshares, and thank you for everybody who reached out to me. And look, here's the one thing about my timeshare stream. So when I was talking about timeshares, I got a lot of people who said, look, we own DVC and we love it. We loved it, but the costs are going up. And because of all these lawsuits, we're thinking of selling. And look, I'm not telling people whether to buy or sell. That's not my hashtag financial advice. And it is difficult. It's more difficult to sell timeshares generally, although Disney does have better resale than everybody else pretty much. That is very true. But a lot of people are really considering selling their DVC, selling their timeshares, selling their, their vacation club that they thought they were going to be a member of for 20, 30, 40 years. It's insane. It's insane. No Rumble today. Rumble was giving me some issues, and Rumble hasn't been, I got to work on that and talk to their tech support because it hasn't been uploading normally. So I got to figure that out. But Rumble, the next stream will be Rumble. Don't worry. This one's more impromptu, kind of rolling with the news. You should see 192 now. They converted most of those ratty motels that Disney employees live in into ratty apartments. It doesn't make it much better. When they go from shitty apartment to shitty hotel to shitty apartment, it doesn't make it much better. But I was out there all the time. Like I said, I lived on that Chick-fil-A by Celebration. That was my jam. I was out there all the time. Also the Five Guys in that little development. You guys know what I'm talking about. That Italian place, what is it? Boca de Beppo or something like that. That place was all right. The Chinese spot in that little complex, not as great. Florida people knows what's up. I actually like Five Guys. I don't have a problem with Five Guys. I think Whataburger's okay. Culver's is good. In-N-Out is overrated just because Californians are like so crazy about In-N-Out. They think it's better than everything else. It's not that good. But yeah. BlackRock will buy that land cheap. Yeah, they act as if they sell it, somebody won't come in and buy it. And here's the thing, and this is the whole argument that Disney always makes is, oh, well, what if we left? What if Disney picked up and left? Like with any property, when you have prime real estate, somebody's going to buy it and use it. And above that, somebody's going to be paying their fair share of taxes. Jonas Scale said, dude, what a day. Jonas, I'll send you a little link if you want to pop in real quick. I will send you a link because I know you're over here doing work. I'll send it in the joint text here, so you've got it. If you want to pop on for a second, says I like to cover waffles with syrup and chicken. Very good call there. Jay said, tell me about Hulu. So essentially, right, and I may be getting this wrong, and the other entertainment guys, please correct me if I'm getting this wrong in the chat. I know you guys will know if I'm getting the nuance wrong here, but essentially Disney has to buy out or is going to buy out like the last share in Hulu because it was essentially split into thirds. And Disney had acquired 2/3 interest in Hulu. So they're going to buy out the last third and then merge. Apparently, I guess the plan is to merge Disney Plus and Hulu because I guess the thought is when you put together two shitty streaming services, you might make one like halfway decent streaming service. And I guess the issue with the streaming services is, look, eventually streaming services were great when you could go to just one, for example, Netflix, and it had everything. That was amazing. But the problem is, as every single platform wants to charge for a streaming service, it becomes cable TV. It becomes every single channel has a payment. And I guess that's fine because you can choose what you want and don't want, and you can intentionally filter out woke Disney shit, which honestly may be what is for the best in the end because you get to actually actively discriminate against those channels that you don't like, which you couldn't do with cable TV. With cable, you were just bought into all the channels. You couldn't opt out if one of them was going woke. Now you can just say, okay, I'm canceling my Disney Plus, which is what a lot of people have done. Got our In-N-Out stands in the chat. Who's talking about Church's chicken? We didn't even bring up chicken. We're talking about burgers, guys. Come on. Yeah, but having 100 streaming services is too much. Look, I want like 2 streaming services. That's it. Like max. And they need to be good and worthwhile. and then I'll be all right. Then I'll be all right. Just like one or two. So I think that the real news to me, when I think about like what's going on and what the real news is, I think the real news, guys, is this news. And this is to me the news that I think is the big one, which is that they're going to close Galactic Starcruiser in late September. Okay? That they're going to close the Galactic Starcruiser in late September. I think this is a massive one. I think this one right here is the real story. This is the real story. And actually, to talk about the real story, my good friend Jonas. How's it going, brother?
How's it going, man? I'll tell you what, if I might be taking a little heat here for getting on one more minute of live stream today.
That's fine. That's fine. I understand it's been a hot day and people have been streaming nonstop, and I'm over here in Asia on the late night hours, right? But I appreciate you jumping on real quick. And look,
absolutely.
we've got a Australian joining the chat. Fat Steven. Steven, how's it going?
Crikey, my dingoes ate my babies. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Jonas, you smooth bastard. I know exactly what you did.
What did I do?
Yeah, the timing was impeccable, bro.
I wasn't trying to snipe you here, man.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Andrew. Nice to meet you.
Good. He ends up above you in the chat. That's what you get. It incentivizes the good behavior of answering my invite quickly.
Yes. Well, I was currently talking to someone, so I was like, I'm the fat foundation for Jonas's ego.
Yeah. But no, seriously though, guys, like it's so much news in one day. And even for me, like I wake up and a lot of times I'm waking up, at maybe 6 p.m., Eastern time. And this whole news day has come and I'm just trying to jump into this. And I think, to me, and tell me if you guys think I'm wrong, I think this is the highlight of today's news, to me.
I honestly think it's a great thing for one reason. If it does get closed down, the federal government can actually turn into a prison, and that can go with that meme that people are like, have this open in prison right near Disney.
There's DeSantis' new prison.
The rooms are the same size.
Honestly, though, this woman does look like a jailer. Like, she looks like she might come in and try to be doing some naughty stuff to you with a blue.
I mean, she's got the right hat for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like the rejected cousin of the Blue Man Group.
I mean, which news item do we want to cover here? There's Galactic Starcruiser going under, which it was already going under anyways.
Well, let's talk about this one first, and then we can move on to the next one, right? Mm-hmm. Because this one, because I always thought, look, to me, looking at the data points of like the costs, and this is the cabin rates here, if you guys haven't seen, 2-person cabin, $1,209 per night, and by the way, you weren't allowed to book less than a voyage, right? Which was, I believe, a 2-night. Wait, is it 2-night? Yeah, 2-night. Yeah. So that's per guest per night. So $2,400 per guest because it's 2-night, and then double that, right? Because it's 2 per cabin. So $4,800, $5,299, or $6,000.
I have a question with that though. What if they're could you take the 2 people and make it 4 little people?
I feel like that's discriminatory that they did not allow that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Very highly discriminatory. Look, listen, I've spent a lot of money on dumb things in my life. Like I have bought a lot of dumb stuff, and I've spent a lot of money on dumb stuff. I think I spent, like for example, I remember buying, I bought like a couple packs of a really trash, like boxes of a really trash collection of Magic the Gathering cards. It's like a horrible set. I think I spent like $300 or something like that, or $500 or something like that back in the day, and that was like financially devastating for me. And then I lost all the cards that were worth anything. I think I like probably spilt beer on them or something. But $6,000 for like the average person, the average family. I don't think that Americans have that money just lying around.
It's completely ridiculous especially when you think about how little you get to do in this specific experience, or maybe something of comparable value. What if you got to go for the entire year to a Disney park? I cannot there is not that much value from 2 nights watching people LARP, and it's not even the characters that you want to be around. I mean, I guess Chewbacca is there because they don't have to have a face actor for Chewbacca.
That's true.
But nobody wants to spend that. Nobody wants to spend that much time with Ray, at least not in that context.
Well, the bar isn't even included, right? Like you just know, does it have a liquor like allowance when you go there? Because I know most of the things cost money, right?
Yeah, I doubt it's an open bar situation.
Yeah, because a lot of parents would be like, I just paid $6,000 to get rid of my kids, and I have to pay another $1,000 just to pretend I still have kids in my memory.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's much like a cruise ship, right? Because that's sort of the model. Like you're locked in. In this case, it's a hellish nightmare because you're not even going to like a tropical paradise or something else like that. You know, you're stuck in a cramped small room. It would be a nightmare for me. I mean, at 6'6" to fit in a lot of those cabins.
Horrible. Yeah.
What bothers me is that you have this hotel that has all these features and you're in an enclosed space and you're near Galaxy's Edge, I'm guessing as well, right? Why haven't they thought about to include in this package like your ability to build your lightsaber? You get a pass to go build your lightsaber for free. It's included in the package. Or you get to build your droid, one or the other. Make sure it's more viable for the kids to not only feel like they can go to the park and get something for free. It actually causes enthusiasm to want to go to the park and get that free $600 item. They don't do things like this.
But instead, they just shut it all down.
They're going to turn it into the Willow Galactic Hotel, and it's just going to be
that's what I was going to ask you guys. Because look, they're not going to. This is technically Disney private property, and although it is hilarious that Reedy Creek could eminent domain it and turn it into a prison, that is actually possible, right? For them to do. However, what do you guys speculate they will do with this property? Now that they've shut it down, you speculate that they're going to revamp it and just relaunch it, or that they're going to tear it down for a different concept. What do you guys think?
I don't know. It's so Star Wars specific right now, and I think the rumor going around, and Jay from Drunk 3PO, he seemed to indicate that they might be doing some kind of dinner theater experience because they've got everything there. They've got all the the back end for utilities for that, and they still have everything that looks Star Wars. You might as well convert it into something that you can get people to come in for a couple of hours if you can't trap them there for 2 days.
Okay, what they need to do, and it's a perfect solution because it actually helps with Star Wars, is revamp it and make it the Death Star Hotel. That way it makes sense that it's on a space station, and since this space station is literally mobile in space, you can visit different parts and change the screens. You could be outside Alderaan, Coruscant. You can do all of that stuff. Oh wait, I forgot there's no source material. So technically the Death Star would just be the Death potato, and you'd be floating out.
The Death Sphere, Death Sphere. That would be way too easy, and frankly, that would be caving on KK's vision, right? I mean, that would be going back to the original trilogy. I guess they could make it the new Death Planet, and just it would look like the Death Star because they were close enough. But
it's just so fascinating. And did you catch that the timing on this? Pro was the first one to catch it. All of this was announced while Kathleen Kennedy was in the theater watching Indiana Jones premiere over in Cannes. So she doesn't have her phone out.
I think we already found a buyer for the hotel. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I just shared it for you right there.
I got it. Who's our buyer? Oh no, no, Spirit of Halloween. No, how can you, Spirit of Halloween? Oh no, that's so good.
Well, at least the costumes will be cheaper.
Yeah, you get a free Funko Pop. That's a Ray.
Well, if they just wanted to do a cheap cosplay hotel, they could have done that so much simpler. If it was just like, all right, we're just doing cosplay, like. Conventions have figured this out a long time ago. Go to celebrate like Star Wars Celebration in MegaCon, right? Like you can make a bunch of just batch out a bunch of cheap Jedi outfits. You can order them from Spirit of Halloween, right? You know, have a generic place and just let people run around with lightsabers. Like kids run around with lightsabers, smacking each other. I mean, I feel like you can. I know exactly. Like I feel like you can do that fairly cheap and like. Make them boffer weapons like people do when they're LARPing, right? The big foam, things. Just have the kids fucking smacking each other with foam lightsabers. That sounds great. It sounds fun. Put a bar where people can get drunk and make it $100.
Forget about the kids. That's what the grown men were doing when I went to the Phantom Menace premiere at the midnight showing back in 1999.
Right. Well. I just want to create a separate area where like the grown men can do it in one area and the kids can do it in another because I don't want to see a 40-year-old man smacking a child.
Oh no! If you wanted to see a fight involving children, you just have to go to the front of Magic Kingdom. Apparently,
what are you talking about? You can go on Twitter every morning.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It is always there. And if you guys haven't seen that clip, in fact, I have to pull up that.
Oh, it's horrible. And multiple angles are coming out now.
Yeah, the Magic Kingdom Brawl.
Yeah. Yeah. You might have to put Magic Kingdom Brawl 2023 May, but
yeah, because you've got to be specific nowadays.
Yeah.
So much.
So it's a crazy day, but I did not want to pass up just coming in to say hello. If I stay on a stream, my life is forfeit. So thank you very much for the invite, and I'm really looking forward to what we've got brewing here. In the future.
I know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's lots to cover here, and thank you for popping on, Jonas. I really appreciate that. And the thing is like obviously you guys have all been great helping me cover these issues and kind of tag teaming with this, and also doing a lot of like behind the scenes stuff, investigative reporting. We're talking to people, so it's really been great to not just build this community and talk to the people and get the latest in news, but also to share our different expertise because different people are great at stuff. I mean, shit, I can't create as many memes as Fat Steven. That's just not possible.
No, I've been doing
my body is not made that way.
This guy.
What we should do is turn that Galactic Hotel. I still get ideas just to a Palladium. They can make back all their money.
There's so many ways. There's so many ways they could just easily make money off of that.
Why is there no go-kart track that's literally shaped like X-Wings and TIE fighters and you're going around a track?
Have you ever guys, okay, this is one thing. It's an Orlando inside tip. This is one of the most fun things in Orlando you can do. Not at Disney at all. It's called Volleyball. Have you guys ever done that?
No, I was a Florida native and I've never heard of it.
Google Volleyball. It is bumper cars and basketball combined.
Dude.
Right? So it is on iDrive. So you are on teams where you are smashing each other with your car, and you are trying to it's like you have a little it's not basketball. It's you have kind of like basketball hoops, but you have something to throw the ball, right? So it can be like hit out of somebody's hand. So
it sounds so Florida.
Whirlyball. I'm sorry, not volleyball. Whirlyball. Thank you, Jay. She got there. Whirlyball. I'm sorry.
Oh, and I've been to that Chick-fil-A by the way at Celebration. That's I mean, it's a Chick-fil-A. It's a good Chick-fil-A. So,
but that was just my home away from home. So I'm saying when I know, yeah, there you go. It's that. It's what Fat Steven just put up right there. Actually, I'm gonna solo Fat Steven, which is kind of hilarious. This is one of the most fun things you can do in all of Orlando. If you get a chance, go do this. Grab like 6 of your friends. You need at least 6 to make it fun, right? And go do it. I did it with my coworkers. These are a bunch of boring, fuddy-duddy attorneys. Attorneys are the freaking worst. And they thought it was great. I mean, they just wanted to go back in like every single Saturday if we could. Absolutely hilarious. So yeah, great place to go. Check it out.
Well, I'm going to head out. Thank you for the invite. If anybody ever wants to catch up on how corrupt Disney is, just go to my channel and check out all the kids content that I have to cover. So
corrupt and woke. But
oh man.
Thank you, Jonas. Hey brother, take it easy. I'll catch
you
you later, brother.
Hey, yeah.
Peace. Absolutely.
Awkward now.
You're good, man. You're good.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the video here, guys, because I see a lot of right now. It's a lot of the photos of the fight here. You guys can kind of see this brawl from like multiple angles, but a lot of these people in that brawl were just absolutely huge too.
Jesus.
Yeah, you can kind of see it here. Like there were some big Berthas in this fight.
What was it over? I never got to realize what it was over.
I think it's they say it's a disagreement between 2 families trying to take photos at the same time.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh my god.
Which is probably the most sad thing ever.
I don't know. Have you seen the video where the guy pulls over the bus full of mascots? I think it's in Russia, and he gets beat the crap out of by Mickey Mouse, SpongeBob, and all these people. Like, looked up that one. It's hilarious because the people who are filming are sitting in their car laughing, and you just see the camera shaking while SpongeBob beats the crap out of a truck in the middle of the highway.
I love that, and it's in Russia too. So like, nobody like Disney can't do anything about them using their IP.
No.
I found it. I found this fight. Holy shit! Hold on, let me play. Okay. Let me fast forward because there's some. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be great. Okay, let me see. Hold on, I gotta make sure I got audio on this because you guys need to hear this version. I love this.
Isang pick-up Maya-maya
That's the one.
Inigit ng pick-up ang van.
Just ignore the
Ang hinintuan
foreign
nito,
speak.
Lumabas ang driver
okay,
ng
okay.
pick-up at tila hinamon ng away ang driver ng van. Ilang sandali pa, naglabasan mula sa van ang
Oh.
sa pangunguna ni SpongeBob at Mickey Mouse. At pinatulungang bugbugin. Nagbigay naman
Oh,
ng van.
let me rewind that.
Ilang sandali
Who's
pa,
fucking this guy up?
naglabasan mula sa van ang apat na
Oh,
mascot
God.
sa pangunguna ni SpongeBob.
It's so much. It's so so much more hilarious in the foreign news accent. As someone who lives abroad, I love watching foreign news because they cover stuff differently. It's hilarious.
It sounds more exciting, especially when they have like a Spanish accent, because it's like you're watching like the Mexican soccer.
Yeah, exactly. It's like goal. Absolutely great. Oh man. That was fantastic. That's fantastic. Let me catch some of the super chat. Squid says, if I don't get a discount on Hulu when Disney buys it, I'm canceling. Also, even though all the streaming sites combined cost as much as cable, at least I don't have ads. That's true. That's true. Also, I hope Disney fails hard. Yeah, Steven, have you looked into the Hulu Comcast? Because I'm not sure that if they declared they're going to exercise their option yet, or if it's just kind of inevitable that they're going to exercise their option. Do you know whether they've said
I
they
have
went
not.
one in?
I'm kind of tuned out of Hulu because I live in
Yeah.
Canada, right? It's not even available up here. Not even with Disney Plus. So we
Oh.
actually paid the full price, but Hulu was never offered. I think it had to do with the fact with licensing rights. So
Right.
outside of like I think North America, Hulu isn't really anywhere else. I could be mistaken.
Yeah.
But
No,
the
that
options?
makes
No.
that makes sense. I mean, I think so. I think what it was is they have an option to buy their that last share because I think they technically own 2/3 of Hulu, and
think
if
so.
they have to buy out, I think Comcast.
Yeah, I think it's the
So-
Comcast is the last one. Yeah.
Right. So they have to like buy out their share in order to merge it. I think that's what's going on here. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes. But once again, if they're just going to take everything they've taken, think about literally every IP they bought. They've ruined it. So don't have high hopes for Hulu. I wouldn't sit out here wondering, like, hoping they're going to make it awesome. Look at literally everything else they've touched. They've ruined it because you know exactly what type of content they're going to promote on that platform. It's fairly obvious.
What they're saying right here is type of business owner, and it goes like this. The subsidiary is Walt Disney Company owns 67%, while Comcast through NBC Universal owns 33% until 2024 sales to Disney pending.
Yeah, pending, right? So
Yeah, that's the big pending.
yeah, so that's the pending, and obviously they're going to have to go through on the legal side, they're going to have to go through an antitrust analysis, right? Because it's an acquisition. So, but I think that one will probably pass because they've effectively got control already. It's just them consolidating that. It's not like they're going out and they're acquiring an entirely new business unit that they don't have before, or they haven't had, or whatever else. This is not like the Apple merger that people talk about. That would be cataclysmic. And by the way, if Disney ever did merge with Apple, they would need to spin off business units. That they would not allow that to happen without them having to spin off different business units. No way. 2012 Jameson says your biggest mess up is not saying how admin works. The little guy gets hosed. Disney is the little guy. Admin law is worse for the little guy. Yeah, I mean, look, this is something that I think in terms of like the legal structure, the power structure, like in terms of regulation, right? Obviously, obviously Disney as a business is not going to be able to escape regulation by the government, whether that's the federal government or the state government, right? So yes, you're going to have this fight and Disney's going to push back and yada yada, but ultimately Florida is going to win. This is just them throwing a temper tantrum writ large, right, at the state of Florida and trying to paint this narrative of, oh, look at Florida taking an L. Trust and believe that we do not need 2,000 more, woke Californians in Florida. We'll be just fine. The state's population is still booming. We're still gaining population as New York loses it. We've consistently gained electoral votes. I'm not worried about people coming to Florida. That's not really ever going to be a problem. That's like people visiting, people visit Hawaii for the beaches, even though it's super woke, even though leftist politics, even though it's kind of expensive. There's certain places that people are going to just play the premium because they want to do the thing. So I'm not worried about Florida, a business-friendly state, continuing to get business. Disney overestimates its impact on the state of Florida. And by the way, I've said this too. if Disney pulled up its stakes and just left Florida, like let's pretend they actually did, which they're not going to, but let's pretend they did actually leave Disney World, someone else would buy that property and be paying taxes. It's not like that property is just going to go nowhere and it's going to get off tax free. Someone will be paying their fair share of taxes. So it's not as if it's just going to poof go nowhere, because that real estate is prime real estate now.
Well, so would you say we should probably ask Floridians to just purchase the U-Hauls for them and see how they would feel after that?
Yes, that's retroactively be like, look, I got a big enough one for Epcot. Come on.
It's the size of Manhattan. It's okay. We'll move it in pieces. It's all good.
It's all good. It's all right.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be totally be fine. Totally fine. I can't see any problems with this. Mason Carey for 11 Canadians says, Andrew, I'm on the ballot for mayor of Toronto, fighting off commies promising a giant Gundam outside of City Hall and contracting Japan Rail Company for future transit projects. Mason for mayor. Well, good luck, bro. There's no way you're going to win in leftist Toronto, but good luck, man. Good luck.
I'll vote for you. It's better than voting for Ford.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Canadian politics. I mean, you tell me, Steven, but to me, look, I have my other channel, Go East Gentlemen, which is about people coming to Asia, coming over here, whether they want to go to Korea, Japan, Thailand, Philippines, wherever else. And whenever I make a video about Canada, it gets like 5 to 10x the views, because so many Canadians are just like, fuck, I'm getting the hell out of here. Like it's a big thing.
It pretty much is. I used to cover, I can say convoy without getting in trouble, right? I'm good.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, you can say
I used to cover the convoy when it was going on in Ottawa, and that was my big wake up call, and how politics and how things were being running was not what you usually see on the news, and that's where I officially turned off the TV, turned off the news. Canada is not the same as it always is, and then you get these more clips popping up on your feed, and you're like, what happened? We used to be the guys that just said sorry and played hockey, and now we're holding like hockey sticks with every type of colored flag, pretending we're doing the best type of activism when all we're doing is causing more segregation. That's why when you talk about the Florida stuff, a lot of Canadians are leaving to Florida. They're leaving to Texas because they want out of what they consider not a safe place to not only raise their kids, but to raise their ideals as a traditional family.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, I mean, my good friend Viva, right? I mean, he's over there. He moved to Florida, right, from Canada.
Yeah,
and
right
a lot of folks are doing the same thing. I mean, they already were the snowbirds that would come down to Florida 6 months out of the year, kind of hang out in maybe Fort Myers or Middle Florida or something like that, Central or Southwestern Florida. And they're just figuring out ways to stay. They're like, look, am I going to start a business? Am I going to, figure out some other sort of visa I can get in here on? But they're really, really, really looking for it. And by the way, like I said, if people want to come this way, if you want to go to the U.S., I can't really help you as much. But if you're looking to come to Asia, I can help you. And you guys can hit me up on goeastgentleman.com or just goeastgentleman at gmail.com. Shoot me an email, and I'll help you out. And I'll read this last one. Tesla HQ back to California despite lawsuits. I did not know about that, but okay, if that's true, that would be the one company that I'd said. But I think in terms of like where Elon's center of gravity is, it's a lot more in Texas. And I know that he's been spending a lot of time there because I actually have heard people that are living in Texas that see him there more often. Yeah. So it seems like he's been spending a lot more time hanging out in Austin at the very least.
Can I hit Carlos Lopez's question quick? Comment
yeah,
quickly?
Sure.
He was arrested. I think it's because he came back on the school property after being suspended because he was standing by his rights. I think it was also because he was Christian. I could be totally wrong on that, but I do remember that story. Yeah, that's how messed up Canada is. I think Canada was also during lockdowns where the girl was walking around like a stormtrooper. I remember and that was during. And yeah, she got held at gunpoint and all like that because someone reported her walking around with a gun as a stormtrooper, and it was for the restaurant she was working at.
Yeah,
I think that was Alberta.
Speaking of stormtroopers, we have a Cajun stormtrooper that's added to the chat. Valiant, how's it going, brother?
Dude, Cajun Navy representing here.
Good to see you, man.
Don't tell him I'm here.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to throw out a stream invite real quick because I've been doing more pre-recorded videos. It's been really helping my channel lately at the push to 100K. And also, I'm
sweet.
If people don't know, I'm here in Bangkok. It's not my normal setup, and I'm running around a little bit more. I've got my business set up here, and as people know, one of the things I do is I'm getting residency in multiple countries, one of which is Thailand, right? So have residency or temporary residency in Korea, have temporary residency here through business, and also working on permanent residency in the long term.
I didn't know you could take up residency in a massage parlor.
Yes, actually, it's true. You can just do that for like $3. It's great.
Is it called the Rub and Tug Mindset? Is that the new channel?
It's tug, rub, and more tug, right?
No,
shout out
shut up, by the way. Legal.
Oh, you
no,
like the
shout out,
happy
by the
ending.
way, shout out, by the way, to that umbrella guy who is the
Okay.
true tug out there.
Okay,
in the
there we
chat.
go. Yes.
VR coming in hot on my channel.
That's the crap.
You know,
I've been up so long,
when it's
I'm
your
so
channel, when it's your channel, I keep it family friendly. You know, you come into my channel, you literally start with massage parlors.
I'm sorry.
Okay, because your channel is never family friendly. That's why.
No. Sorry, pixie dusters. It's gonna hurt your fifis here.
No, I don't care about doing it on my channel. Like, I personally take no offense to it, but like, I learned over time that my audience is so used to that not happening that if I deviate from it, I actually get messages. So I'm like, okay, so we'll keep it like, PG-13 as best as possible.
Right.
If things occasionally slip, fine, that's cool. But like, I know, like with Midnight's Edge with you, everything goes off the cuff. I can loosen up a little bit and
we can just talk about the 2024 Budweiser Clydesdale team. I mean, it's just part of what we talk about on this channel.
The only reason I'm just like finishing editing a video now for the morning because Indiana Jones 5
from locals
film festival. So.
Oh man, love you guys. And by the way, love the locals. But yeah, so you're finishing editing a video on which one? Indy 5?
Indy 5, yeah, man. It bombed out at Cannes Film Festival. I mean, it just
bombed.
Bombed. Like Variety magazine actually cited the audience as getting, quote, full of boredom, and they were just whispering to each other during it. Like, they stayed up and gave Harrison Ford a standing ovation because it's Harrison Ford, but apparently they couldn't give a shit about the movie.
I got a quote for you right here.
There's a quote.
Yes, I'll blow it up for you. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Kane's 2023, a shabby counterfeit of a priceless treasure.
Yeah, that was from the UK Telegraph. Variety was no better. IndieWire had a terrible, nasty one too. I mean, it's just it's a donkey show, dude. It's bad.
And Phoebe ruined it. Yeah, and they did not have any impression. They're literally whispering in French.
Despite all of, because see, here's the thing, and I talked to a lot of normies about this. They were holding out a lot of hope that the reshoots were going to make it better, and they were going to make it less woke, and they were going to make it, passable. That was what people kept telling me. They're like, oh well, they reshot it that so much, they must be reshooting out all the woke stuff. And I'm like, I don't think that's possible.
No. They even said in one of the articles that even though Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character is every bit as much the hero in the movie as Harrison Ford, and I was like, wait, full fucking stop. No. I was like, right there, giant red flag goes up.
There was even the leak, right? If you have seen that leak video of something from the actual one of the pre-screenings, and it was literally 3 minutes of her degrading him all the way through the thing, and you're like, oh, this is how Indiana Jones is going to go. It's great. It's like getting Marion, but realizing she has blue hair and a nose piercing, and she just got out of being banned from her
bitching at Indy
school.
for being a colonialist and stealing property from indigenous people.
Oh, they're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to
no, it's done.
Thing.
That's the clip they put out.
That's
the clip they put out on
They
Twitter
use that word?
everywhere.
They use that word?
They did not say colonialist, but she's like, well, you stole stuff from the indigenous peoples.
Oh,
like,
fuck
all you're
you.
like, oh, no.
It's
a total anti-colonialist mantra. It's all it's just Disney running down the checklist of bullshit, and they're gonna shove it right up your ass in this movie. Get ready, folks.
Yeah,
just get ready.
Look, and I'm all for nuanced evaluation of of history and whatnot. Obviously I live out here in Asia, right? And there's a very complicated history with the foreign powers out here. But there's the good and the bad, right? They even out here when I'm actually in a foreign country, unlike most of these people, by the way, who've never actually traveled. A lot of these people who talk about colonialism, whatever else, they haven't actually lived anywhere else. There's pros and there's cons, but even if you ask people, they'll acknowledge the good and the bad, right? There's good and a bad to a lot of things. And the fact that they've tried to pervert the entire influence of the West, like all Western countries since the beginning of time, as inherently corrupt, and everything they've done, they've ruined, kind of like the touch of Sauron or something, right? Where you touch it and it's corrupted. That to me is so offensive, and it's so bigoted. right? From a standpoint of if you took that same view and put that on anybody else, you would be prescribed as a horrible, horrible racist, right? If you said, oh, well, anything Russia's ever touched, or the Chinese have ever touched, or Iran has ever touched, or Africa has ever touched, God forbid, right? You would be perceived as a horrible, horrible racist, right? It's absolutely mind-blowing. And, hearing that that's in there adds to my I'm never going to come anywhere near this with 100% with a stick. Now that being said, look, after Crystal Skull sucked, I wasn't going to go near any Indian in a joke.
Oh
I
my God! Oh my God! I didn't believe this. I thought this was a joke. I cannot believe they have actually pulled the embargo on this. Andrew, get ready.
Hold on.
I have not seen this until just now.
Okay.
Pull this up on your screen. I just put it in the private chat. I know it's only 8. I know it's only 8 reviews, but I cannot believe they pulled the embargo up this early.
Yeah.
We're more than 30 days out, dude.
Andrew has a great point, though.
I did not have this in the video.
50%.
Make it a member short.
Yeah. That's bad.
This is so bad.
I'm mildly turned on right now.
Mildly turned on?
Yeah, I'm trying to sit comfortably on my chair because
Well, see, it's Rotten Tomatoes. So what I figure is like if it doesn't go full woke, it's not good enough for their glowing 100 out of 100 magical rating, right?
And you're getting an echo from the chat.
Oh, am I?
Okay. Yeah,
I thought it was just me. I was like,
probably
okay,
it's probably the tab.
But you made a great point earlier, Andrew. The whole point is like we used to be able to have criticisms, but now criticism has been warped into a new meaning, which means you're either racist, phobic, or some type of ism. We can't even discuss what's good and bad. You have to look at both the pro and the con. That's been going on through the film industry forever, whether you're a critic like Siskel and Ebert and all that stuff. We can't even do that now on Twitter or any social platform. It's like you're only hating it because we only tell you why you're hating it. They're not listening to the person actually giving the criticism. And that's a falter of discussion. That's what they're trying to destroy.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys saw that. I was sharing this in the background, but there is one movie that's coming that I'm very excited about. This
Little
one.
Mermaid.
No. Gorlock the movie.
Oh no.
This is the one. This is the one that's going to make all the real money here, guys.
Yeah, she's in the new Godzilla movie.
Well,
I'm waiting for Little Mermaid
baby.
with Liar Liar to go to your hand.
Oh, that would be great. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, no. Look, listen. I just think anything they touch, they're going to make, they're going to screw up. Which is why when people talk about Hulu and the merger, right, and Valiant, I want to get your 2 cents on that. I just think they're only going to make that worse once they make that acquisition. Now, Valiant, is that pretty much a done deal in terms of logistics, or what are we looking at with the Hulu situation?
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is a predetermined, let's just call it a buy-sell agreement, right? From a legal standpoint, you know, like a succession plan, a buy-sell agreement. This was put in place when all this kind of came about, and it's basically a put.
It's like an option contract where they had an option to buy this.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, it's a right of first refusal, effectively, or actually, really not even that. It's just a straight put. So at this point, with Disney being the majority owner of Hulu, one of the two had to buy it out, either Comcast or Disney. Now, of course, Disney is in the hierarchy position here, which means it's more likely that Comcast can just force the sale to Disney because they have the smaller share. I mean, Comcast is not going to go spend $30 billion or whatever, give that to Disney, $20 billion or $20 billion, whatever the hell it is. Disney's going to buy it out. They want Hulu. They've been a majority owner of it now for years. It's one of the more lucrative streaming platforms that they own, and they don't want to let it go. Disney announced that they're going to do a unified, consolidated login service between Disney Plus and Hulu later this year. So that should have given everybody a big fat clue during the earnings call. Disney would not be trying to consolidate the graphic user interface of these two platforms where they're not going to take them over. So that's going to happen. Disney can play coy with it all they want, but it's been obvious now for some time. They're going to have to fork over about $10 billion to Comcast to get this. Obviously, largely this is going to come from stock. And I even stipulated earlier on Pro's show that I think this is one of the reasons that Disney apart from the dwindling, operating income, this is certainly one of the reasons that Disney would not want to jump on the gun to reinstitute the dividend anytime soon. Because if they're going to chunk out $5, $6, $7 billion worth of treasury stock to Comcast to buy that out, they don't want to open the door to paying a dividend right now. Because I mean, if they did, that $5, $6, $7 billion worth of treasury stock, they wouldn't pay dividends to themselves. But if they have to turn that over to Comcast as a point of purchase here for the Hulu enterprise, then all of a sudden they would be on the hook for dividends for those $5, $6, $7 billion worth of shares. So I think that's probably also why they've been reluctant to go back to that. Now, many other companies have as well, to be fair. But I think that's a big part of it. They're gonna get through this year and get through probably fiscal year 2024 at this point, I would bet, before they start talking about dividends again, to see what this deal will shake out with Comcast would look like.
Got it. So, I mean, they're not, and that's one of the games they have to play, right? Whenever there's sort of a payouts involved or dividends involved, they've got to do that math, right?
Yep.
And they've got to factor that number in. And that's one thing, by the way, that a lot of people who are investing in these companies are banking on. And I've talked about why a lot of Disney people are coming out of the woodwork. It's because they've got money in Disney. That's one of those safe stocks that they just park their money in. They're like, well, I'm just going to get my dividend, right? Like Coca-Cola, right? It's famous Buffett investment where he just shoves his money in it and you're going to get, a 4% dividend or something like that, 3-4% dividend.
Oh, not even that from Disney. I mean, historically, their dividend was like around 1 point something to maybe 2.
1%?
If it comes back, I think it'll be around 1. Most people that are re-engaging dividends after dragging them off the table during the pandemic era, they're coming back light unless they have massive cash flows to support it. Disney's obviously, their cash flows have kind of rocked back. They have more losses now than they used to. They're consuming their own content. Disney Plus is running up debts. They're shutting down things like the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. This is not a time where you go, hey, here comes a dividend, y'all. No, this is not a time of expansion for Disney.
Right.
No, I think it's a time for Disney to actually start opening up their vault, like we said last week on previous shows, and start digging into their classic vault and start bringing those out and giving that the forefront of what Disney used to be, and see if they can make some type of buck and some type of image back. Drop the socio-political nonsense and start focusing on the one thing that they were known for that they have lost: family entertainment and somewhere safe for kids and family. And they're not doing that.
Yeah.
And they've been failing on that. Speaking of which, shout out to Yellow Flash. I sent him an invite real quick if he wants to pop on. But he says, Yellow Flash in the chat, who said Kathleen Kennedy's having a bad day. Yeah, she is.
Oh my
definitely,
God, he must be drunk. He never super chats.
Definitely not having a bad day. Well, I think we're all when I woke up and I'm like, and I'm recovering. I'm like, oh shit. And I wake up and I see all this Disney news. I'm like, how literally have they managed to continue stepping in it for the past 2 weeks daily? Almost daily, there's been massive.
Oh, dude!
Massive
Pro
issues with them.
threw his
insane.
whole live show script out the window before he started because
he did.
it just kept bombing. 30 minutes before he started, the Disney Galactic Starcruiser thing dropped. Then the news about the Indiana Jones stuff and the Cannes Festival dropped. And then it's boom, boom, boom. And we're going off script. It's going to be one of those shows, dude. Suck it up, Buttercup. Here we go. That's just the day. That is the day.
I had to write an angry letter to the Walt Disney Corporation because of all of that news, because I had to do so many goddamn thumbnails for these two people.
I'm so sorry.
You have no idea. It's like, hey, I need this. Hey, I need the same one, but different. Then I need this. I'm like,
and then you've got to revise it.
He has an amazing thumbnail for me tomorrow morning for this Indiana Jones thing. So I can't wait till y'all can see it.
Y'all blowing each other's thumbnails. Corn Pop for $1.99 super sticker. Appreciate you very, very much with that. And then Jex Free says, starting late, appreciate all the work, Legal Mindset, Valiant Renegade, and Fat Steven. Yeah, honestly, to be completely honest, me ribbing these guys aside, the reason why I love doing this is because this feels like being on a team of folks that are actually out there grinding. Because, if you work in corporate, you've got, let's say, Karen in HR, right? You've got Becky in accounting. You've got Stacy, the junior associate, right? You've got Richard, aka Dick, the senior equity partner. And of those people, 2 of them are doing work, and one of those people is you, right? You've got the lazy people you've got to deal with. You've got the annoying, equity, diversity training, the ESG training from Karen and HR. We don't got to deal with any of that. We're dealing with a bunch of people that are all working very hard. Now, you can disagree with what they're saying. You can say, you know what, you're wrong. You have a bad take. But one thing you can't say is that these guys aren't doing work, because literally every single day they're putting in the work. They're showing up and doing it on a regular basis. So at a bare minimum, it's like these guys are all hard workers, regardless of whether they ultimately end up being right or wrong, or whether you can disagree with their take. These guys are out here grinding every single day to bring you guys really excellent content. So
I give it 5 days and Disney will announce the apologetic white privilege department, and that's what's going next.
And that's the problem, right? That's the problem, is that they're really we're joking about it, but
they already
actually
have
doing
that
it.
department. Yeah.
Well, and we skipped over the news from Pro, and I have to find that, where they're kind of going to outsource their equity and diversity. Did you guys kind of see that?
Yeah,
They're
that's the one with
bringing in
Mickey
a marketing
Mouse.
partner. I mean, they still are going to very much have an in-house department for all of
Sure.
that, but yeah.
Yeah,
This
so
is
they're
just
going
an
to partner.
expansion.
They're going to partner with queer content for streaming. It's going to partner with equal pride and diversity agencies to outsource work on diverse content for streaming, both in marketing and miniseries. And I think I brought this up in my tweet, but I'll say it again. This is an effort to do a couple things. Number one, to lower costs, right? Because it's cheaper to farm things out.
Yes.
Number two, obviously they're going to boost their ESG score, because now they can say, look, we're working with these people, right? So boost their ESG score. And if they do anything crazy, they can say, oh no, it was them that told us to do it. It wasn't our in-house folks, it was them. So they can point the finger and deflect.
I don't think. Here's the thing. That excuse for Disney is not going to fly.
No,
that is a
I know
bunch
it's
of
not.
horseshit.
I know it's not going to fly. They're still going to try it. It's not going to fly.
They have buried their junk so far down that honey hole already out in public that nobody's going to believe that Winnie the Pooh came along and shoved it in there for them. I mean, it's just no. It ain't happening.
I'm just imagining Mickey just walking up to some random hole in the tree, just like unzipping his fly and just going to town. I mean,
Hey, Winnie, this sure feels a lot better than you.
oh man.
The thing is, it's not going to work. We've seen how they've
No.
treated fans when it comes to criticism online, whether it be Star Wars and Reva or Little Mermaid and Haley. Like,
Yeah.
it's all the same stuff. You don't like this? What are you, a supremacist? Yeah, that's it. I woke up today and right away I wanted to criticize your show with my white pillowcase. Let's get on that right now.
It's like, no, I just want you to stay the hell away from my kids. You know?
Yeah.
That's it.
Man, that's such a crazy requirement, that like you guys, not be pushing this stuff on children, which by the way is going to be exactly what these agencies are going to suggest. They're going to encourage more children's content, encourage more, and they try to do it by saying, oh, well, look, they've got this suicide rates and we've got these other issues, and we're going to cure this by pushing it more on children. And it's like, guys, you haven't seen that as you've pushed this stuff more on children as these things have gone up, right? So, I mean, I think the correlation is actually the opposite of what you guys are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Legal Layman says, howdy, brother. How you guys doing? Sounds like a good day for content. It's a damn good day for all of us for content.
It's not a good day for KK.
It's not a good day for KK, but it's a good day for the real content, which is here on YouTube, which is all of these guys' channels. All these guys' channels. And Irate Specialist, who says, look at you guys up late. Disney tiers must be better than Red Bull. Yeah. Actually, that's all I've had lately. Not gonna lie, I've just been straight housing Red Bull in order to get through and cover all this stuff and get into it. And I haven't even had a chance to do a lot of the things I wanted to do. Like I've wanted to sit down and focus for 24 hours on like doing a Crimes of Disney video. I mean, I haven't had time to produce that because something else comes up, right? Some other news comes up.
Disney will, not quite the same as Red Bull. Red Bull will give you wings, and Disney will turn the frogs gay.
I suggest G Fuel. It's a lot cheaper. You don't have to worry about it preaching to you. I suggest either the Summit G1 flavor that I have here or the Mega Man one. I don't know where I wrote that. I'm not sponsored. I'm sorry.
No. Yes, we do not support any products on this channel unless they're paying us lots and lots. And
I
lots
sent you
and lots.
$2, so I guess that counts.
Okay, that counts. Yes, we support
There you go.
Fat Steven as his individual entity.
Yeah.
Oh man, actually, you know it's funny. So I said this Galactic Starcruiser would have worked out much better. Much
Oh,
better.
God.
The Galactic Starcruiser motel off 192. That would have worked out way better.
Man, they would have made money on that.
Oh yeah, they would have definitely made some money on
They
that.
could have put slave layout in the
Hashtag
front.
not
That would have done
sponsored.
it.
Oh my God, there's your moneymaker. Just have this slave Leia strip club. Just put that in the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. You'd be good.
Okay,
Exactly.
if they had actually done that, like if they found like hot slave Leias,
Mm-hmm.
like, and that would just print money. And it doesn't have to be Leia. It can just be like other slave girls, like the Twi'lek girl.
Okay,
you know?
let's specify not Lizzo.
Yes, not Lizzo.
Not
I said
Gorlock.
actual hot. I said not Gorlock, not Lizzo, not any Hut
I cannot
family. You
believe
know.
how big Gorlock got, no pun intended, on the internet.
I think she was already big, is what we're going
Or
with.
he, shim, whatever it is, but
Whatever it is.
Gorlock.
You know,
Yeah.
it's funny because it transitioned out of Adam Gorlock.
Don't say transition.
So sorry.
Yeah. By the way, obviously you guys, and I haven't even a chance to rank on this, right? But obviously you guys have already made the comment on the Dove commercial, right? You guys have probably already had
Oh,
a chance
God.
to tee off on that one,
my
right?
God.
Yeah.
I called it on the May 3rd. I said that the next Battlefield is going to be gaming. It has nothing to do with Gamergate. They're going to go up to that next. And it's
Yes, you
starting.
did.
I did call that, and that was the first one. Dove used Unreal Engine and teamed up with Epic Games, and nobody ever complains about not being represented in Fortnite. That is the stupidest crap I've ever heard in my life.
Nobody. I've
And-
never seen this. I hate
You've
this.
not seen this. You've not seen this, like saying that like this is what the average gamer girl looks like. Is
No. I've seen the video. My
Yeah,
point.
of
I'm
that-
pissed
that-
off. I'm so sick and tired of these bullshit statistics.
Yeah.
74% of women don't identify with. Who are these women? This is crap.
Well, no. No. It was the statistic. I think that one is actually someone even they perverted, because the statistic that was something like they feel underrepresented.
Yeah.
Misrepresented
Yeah.
within video
Yeah.
gaming.
Who?
Yeah.
Show me
and-
the sample. Show me the crosstabs. I don't believe any of these statistics. I don't believe any of these damn polls. They are all so easily manipulated. The first thing I said on Twitter was the only way they got this is they took a very specific, or they took a sample from a very specific subsect of a demographic, and they push polled them. They push polled them into saying, I'll put it this way. You could ask a regular question like, do you play video games? Yes or no?
Mhm.
Do you like the video games you play? Yes or no?
Yes.
Or they could ask a question like, does anybody in a video game that you enjoy playing look like you? That would be a push, because you're trying to get an answer that says no. Because, of course, most people don't look like video game characters because they're supposed to be fantasy escapist. So then they get 74% of people don't identify with people in the video game.
But listen. You know how I know that's bullshit, right? You know I know that's complete bullshit. It's like it feel like, oh, we're underrepresented. If anything, these girls have something to say about that, right? You know, because it's
Yeah.
like, how would this would not be a thing, but for girls getting into gaming? So there's no barrier to girls getting into gaming.
No.
Right?
There's-
And
Sorry.
the ones they put out there that are making money, I mean, just saying. Just throwing it out
They're also forgetting a key aspect here when it comes to gaming. They try to pull this, men don't really all look like this, women don't all look like this. The fact of the matter is, they're in a fantasy world, they're playing a hero arc. Guess what? They're going to be physically fit. They're going to have those bodily features for one reason. They are literally always active. And that means the representation is going to be different based off the body type, whether you have a disease, whether you're sick, healthy. It's genetics. And you can't just say, oh, you don't look like that thin one from that Bayonetta game, so you must be underrepresented. Let me just find a stat for you at the back of a Captain Crunch box that I just finished, and I'm going to tell you what it is. And it's
Yeah.
nonsense. It's just nonsense. It's like going back to it's like we're reliving the 90s, and it's Marilyn Manson saying, oh, you're causing violence in the real world. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And you know, if you look at actual, like I said, if you look at people who are who would be able to do that, right? Like a Laura Croft, right? Like if she was fat, she wouldn't be able to scale those walls. She wouldn't be able to jump around. That wouldn't even be believable, right?
She fall off the cliff of a night trying to do
And by
nice
the way,
stuff.
By the way, it's already being very beneficial to women to give them to say they can do a lot of those things. Of course, you gotta understand fantasy. You know, I'm willing to give stuff a pass if it's in a fantasy world or sci-fi world or whatever else. Oh, it's magic, it's science, whatever else, right? Yeah. But if it's, for example, just a regular chick, it's like, I know physically that they can't do that. How do we know? Well, if you look at Army standards, if you look at Spec Ops standards, and the fact that women can't do a lot of these things, right? They can't meet those standards, meet those thresholds. You know that, of course, a woman who's 600 pounds is not going to be able to do that. It's just simple logic, right? Well, and everybody knows that.
That's not totally true. If they were 600 pounds, they were probably driving a forklift and they'd be in Mario Kart.
If they were 600 pounds, they would be the forklift.
That is like the female Bowser, you know.
Fortnite has chubby characters. Fortnite does have chubby characters or thick characters like Penny. They do have these. There's all those body types are there. The problem is you don't care about being represented when you're playing a battle royale or you're playing a first-person shooter, especially when you're only seeing your hands in the gun. That's like Battlefield 2042 failed, and I got ripped off with that. It's like, oh, we're going to give you guys this type of character and this type of character. Like, I don't care. I'm here to capture a point and play an objective. I'm not going to see my character for 90% of the game. Stop putting this crap in and focus on the entertainment. And that's where they're all lacking. It's all this political crap they're sliding in. And most kids don't care because they don't want to care or don't understand.
Well, there's a weird segment, though, Steven, that they're into the lore and the backstory and like they get into all that stuff. Like, and they want to know, you know, they're playing this game. They're dedicating all these hours of their life. So they suddenly become interested in the backstory. Right, and that matters to like a small fraction of people, but that's an extreme minority, and frankly, that minority, even within that minority, the amount of them that care about the sexuality of the character or the size of the character it's almost nobody in terms of the gamers.
That's why there's character creation in so many games. You get to build your own character. That's where representation comes in. It's not just what they look like on the outside. This is the shell argument, okay? You are on this journey. You're playing this character. You're becoming attached to them, and that's where the representation comes in because you're finding aspects and characteristics that you find in yourself or you want to find in yourself through these enjoyment journeys, whether it be Last of Us, a Mario Kart, a Mario Brothers, a Bayonetta. It doesn't matter. That the whole thing is you're playing the game and you're going through the game. That's where your representation comes through. It's not just physical, it's emotional and mental. They seem to forget this.
Yeah. Well, and I think the bigger representation is, hey, make a story that's relatable, right? Like make somebody live a story or experience or a hero's journey, God forbid, that is relatable to different types of people that are from different backgrounds, right? You can do that without making it a woke shithole, right? Or a woke mess. It's very, very easy to do.
And I say this because I started my channel doing Fortnite streams because that was a way to get everyone to play together, right? So I can literally be like, if you feel represented, use creator code FAT-Steven Seagal in the item shop right now. Yeah. And then Andrew's going to ban me forever because I thought I was doing sponsorship, and that's not what I'm doing.
Banned, bad Australian. But I get to miss nationality you. Since you missed nationality.
Valiant said you were Canadian one time. I'm going to go with
that. He
that.
never said I was Canadian, to be fair. You literally created that out of nowhere.
Okay, maybe I projected.
Have I said sorry once? Because I don't. I would tell people to fuck off over sorry. Like,
all right. Don't come down on the fat Canadian.
I will. And by the way, good to see everybody checking in on my locals. I will do a quick, after this one, I'm going to do a quick locals live stream, and then I've got some exclusive recording, and I've got to hit up, I have a bunch of consultations for Go East Gentlemen this afternoon, so I've got to talk to a bunch of people. So I'm really busy day, but I'm going to stay on top of this. And guys, make sure you're subscribed to Valiant and to Fat Steven. Fat Steven, you got a Twitter account? I guess.
We just hit 2,500 on Twitter. Nice. I have a YouTube. I have a Rumble. I don't use locals because I don't know how to spell it.
It's with a K.
Yeah. How many Ks?
What's the Canadian spelling?
Yeah. Not 3, I'll tell you that.
It's low case.
Yeah. Mattel, I want to get this one. Mattel, shout out to Don, he's over there in Prague. Mattel tried to test a Lizzo Barbie doll with child test focus groups. 11 children were crushed.
But that's true, though. They remember what was it, 2 years ago during lockdowns? They had the diverse Barbie collection, and you had Cripple Skipper and stuff like that, and in the wheelchair, or the you know, you had the weird skin condition where it looks like cow spots. You know what I mean? They've done all that.
Where are they now? And why I haven't heard anything about them?
They don't work. They go to the same place the Rose Ticos are going, and the same place the new Indiana Jones Femme Indiana Jones is going to go, which is right in the trash bin, the discount bin, $1.99, and nobody buys it even at $1.99.
No, they show up at the Dollarama's, which is our dollar stores up here. Like you would see them there, and they never left the shelves, and they would be $2 or $4. No one would buy them. No.
Yeah. Some guy with cancer, $4.99, says the new Indiana Jones is more of a cancer than what I take chemo.
Oh wow, dude!
Wow.
I can't.
Nuked from orbit.
Wow.
Holy shit.
God bless you. I don't even know how to respond to that, but just
with
God bless you.
With humor. Listen, I had a good friend, our friend Becca. She used to go to my church when I was much younger, and she took up stand up the last year of her life because she knew, she was like, it's coming, and she's like, look, you got to go out with really hard, and she knew it was there, but she's like, look, I have to have grace and a sense of humor and treat every day, with a sense of levity. And I think that humor does that for all of us. And it brings richness to all of us. And the people, I think one of the biggest travesties about the woke left is they've taken humor from us. We're the only people that can laugh, and have fun. Like they're not having fun. They're miserable people. And I don't want to be around miserable people in my everyday life, much less my online life where I get to choose who I send an invite to.
That's what happens when you're taught to be so self-absorbed and all you do is think inwardly and how your feelings are and yourself is and your own emotional well-being and everybody else should just, look at you and give you praise on social media. I mean, that's the real cancer out there in society these days, is the love of self above anything else. It's terrible.
It's the TikTok mentality, the quick fix of entertainment, the quick dopamine.
Exactly.
You need to get that clout. Like, look at that guy that's getting sued by the federal government because he crashed that plane for a promotional ad on YouTube.
And there's a guy in the UK.
Crazy.
There's kids in the UK coming into people's houses for clout and posting on their couch. They get shot in the United States for that.
Dude, try that in Louisiana and Texas. Dude, down here, somebody walks in my house for clout. You better be able to outrun a 9mm round.
Well, it was like that dude that bought the Wendy's meal and then ate it in front of the homeless guy that looked starving. I don't know if that was planned or not, but it's stuff like that because I did live on the streets, and if someone did that to me, I would pretty much shove them onto the street. And
by the way, I have no tears lost for these people when they're hammered down on it. And by the way, when they try that shit abroad, they're often kicked out of the country and blacklisted. If they try some crazy shit like that, they'll just be like, hey, we're kicking you out and you're never coming back.
Dude, I want to say real quick, I see them out there. I want to give a hat tip, even though I'm not on camera, to the 199ers out there in the chat.
Shout out to all D-Day Cobras folks, the 199ers. You guys are great. There's a lot of crossover, and obviously, Jeremy's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of the channel. Happy to collaborate with him. But shout out to everybody who's really come together on these issues, because it's because all of us are working together to bring light to this, to bring eyeballs to this, that we've been able to have such an impact. And we are having an impact, by the way. People are hearing this. Our information is getting out there, including to some very important people who are listening in now. Don't be shocked. It's funny how a lot of, especially my legal arguments, are ending up being made. Yes.
Well,
they're getting absolutely wrecked.
I'm looking forward to this, and I'll tell you now, since you kind of brought that up, I've been thinking about this for a while. I didn't get to do a 20K celebration just because the timing has been so bad, but I think we're going to do a 25K celebration here in the next couple of weeks.
Nice.
And that's one of the things I really wanted to talk about. I wanted to have a lot of you guys in there. I'm thinking about doing a Friday night show. And I want to talk about YouTubers and the impact on pop culture. I've been wanting to do this for some time. It's been rattling around. And I need guys like you and Steven and Flash and Jeremy and everybody out there from different angles. Melanie Mack is going to be on the Sunday show this weekend.
Yeah,
she's coming in.
So you guys simping hard in the private chat. You guys are like,
no. That's the thing though. Shut up.
It's okay. I love you guys. I love my Simps. I love them. I just call them out with love. It's
Valiant makes a great point.
We love having Melanie on.
Call it out,
Valiant, I have a great point. That actually makes sense here because I actually watch a lot of the drama channels on YouTube, like Tipster and stuff like that. And when they start talking about the subjects we talk about, it's a total different perspective. They think we're all nuts. They think Spider-Man's been like this forever. Disney's been like this forever. And I'm like, do you guys ever go on the opposite side of the cusp and actually look at what they're talking about, or are you just thinking everyone's just an angry little like Smurf hiding in a hill waiting to shit on the next Hobbit? Like, come on, relax.
Right.
Yeah, no, it
Simp
obvious.
my ass.
And that's what I do. I love it. I absolutely love it, and I love all the content creators out there. I just hear you guys. I see you guys in the back chat. I love.
I see Nick Weiser out there. Nick Weiser's here, man. Good to see Nick.
Herodian says people will buy Cara Dune dolls if Disney was smart and instead bet on stupid. Yeah, and honestly, when I first saw Cara Dune character, I thought, oh my god, they're gonna make it super woke because she's kind of like beating up Mando single-handed, like without any power armor or anything else. She's just coming out here and just fucking housing Mando. But as you saw Gina Carano's character, you're like, oh, actually, I like Gina. I like the character a little bit more, and I thought I was gonna like. The character, and they ruined that. They squandered that, right?
They have ruined every opportunity to bring in new Disney princesses. Cara Dune would have been a Disney princess if they just didn't kneel to the woke mob. What is that? We do not kneel. Ever since you start apologizing and kneeling, and this goes across everything. We're watching DC, Marvel. We're watching everyone fail. And I would love to see what their actual books look like for income right now, because I've never seen so many superheroes feel like they're going to be the next dude without his pants on. And remember Simpsons, where he's like, old gray man, you ain't what you used to be. They're all going to be lined up against outside of Disneyland going, please take me home. I'll entertain your kids. I swear I'll do it for some oranges. It's bad, man. It's like watching your childhood erupt in Mordor.
Yeah, and that's what it's been, right? That's what it's been consistently is like literally like you see another piece of your childhood that you grew up and had fond memories of stripped away and then corrupted and twisted and turned into this disgusting thing. And you have to explain, no, it wasn't always like that. There was a time in ancient lands far away. It actually does. It literally does feel like the corruption of the Shire or something like that. You see, well, actually we have Rings of Power, so we actually have that. So you've got that fall. Is that the Taco Bell bell?
Yes.
It was. That's Steven's way of saying I need to go. I'm hungry.
You know what?
Okay.
You know what? Hold on.
No, actually, you know what's funny though?
Imperial stormtroopers are so precise.
Well, I know I am. Except they can't fucking hit anything in Disney Star Wars anymore.
I will say though, I had some delicious tacos last night. I had I ordered delivery. Oh my god, they're amazing. So I always try to find the best taco place.
What
in
was
town.
her
I think
name?
I found it in Bangkok.
Frank.
It was not. On that note, fucking Valiant demonetizing my stream. That being said, guys, make sure you follow these guys and make sure you guys have liked this stream if you like me dealing with these two jokers and people like that on the internet. Make sure the notifications are dinged. Subscribe to these guys. People on locals, I'm going to do a unique locals chat afterwards. So we're going to do a quick 10-15 minute after show party real quick. Just talk, hang out, throw off the coat. So if you guys want that, head over to locals. And I will have some more videos out the next couple days. Got some pre-planned content for you guys. Until then, catch you later. Peace.
Sorry.